Hello and welcome to the Sound English Half 5. Today we're going to talk about creative musical families. In English, they say that blood is thicker than water, but is it easier to stick together if you got a common passion? Let's see.
The proverb used in the intro means that families' relationships are simply more important than the outside ones. To prevent this movie from being a 20-minute long yawn, we're gonna omit the stories of blood-related duos. 3 is a crowd, and crowds we need today.
Chapter 1. A Mundane Theory.
Number 1. The Beach Boys. The Wilson brothers, 16-year-old Brian, 3 years younger Dennis, and 11-year-old Carl, started a band in 1958 in Hawthorne, California. Their surfer-based upbringing and a sun-soaked childhood gave them the natural tendencies to smooth, soft, and pitch-wise polished harmonies that quickly became their trademark. By the early 60s, backed by their cousin Mike Love and a friend Al Jardine, they had composed first of their own pieces, developing unique vocal harmonies and surfer-like white-clothed image. With surfing being even the repetitive motif of their titles, they built up the style and fanbase that up to this day is simply everlasting. They've released numerous multi-platinum LPs, including 1966's memorable concept album Pet Sounds. Despite ups, downs, and deaths, the name of the Beach Boys is still in the game, with Brian Wilson and Mike Love being the last man standing. They influenced a lot of artists, also the ones who are legendary siblings themselves.
Good to know.
Mike Love is an uncle of NBA All-Star Kevin Love.
Get well soon, Kev. Hell yeah!
Number 2. The Jackson 5. The squad that needs no introduction, managed by the tyrant father Joe, 5 brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael, became a multi-platinum stars of the Motown label. Their afro, flashy image, well-crafted songs, and breathtaking live performances placed them forever in the history of soul, funk, and pop culture per se. Their first smash hit, I Want You Back, from 1970, triggered pure Jackson mania. But come on, is it possible to fail if Janet and LaToya Jackson are your backing vocalists? After a few years, their success slightly faded, and in 1982, the youngest one released Thriller and became, Michael Jackson. The surviving members are still active. Quite a story, isn't it?
Good to know.
It is said that Joe Jackson demanded from his children to be addressed only as Joseph.
Shady guy, right?
Number 3. The Chorus. A never disbanded Irish multi-instrumentalist crew formed by Andrea, Caroline, Sharon, and Jim in 1990 in Downjoe, County Louth. Their mixture of pop catchiness, traditional Irish instruments, crafty vocals, and physical beauty made them both curious and very popular. After the release of the debut Forgiven, Not Forgotten in 1995, and even better reviewed Talk on the Corners 2 years later, they became world-famous stars. Most known songs are, for example, Beautiful Only When I Sleep, Breathless, Listen to the Radio, and So Young that could be met even in English student books published in Poland. Subjectively, we truly recommend listening and watching 1999 Unplugged, pure greatness.
Good to know.
On the European tour of 2004, the Chorus was supported by Eastern European band called
Myslavitz. Rings a bell? Hell yeah!
Number 4. Hanson. Teenagers Isaac, Taylor, and Zach Hanson from Tulsa, Oklahoma formed the band in 1992. After becoming self-publishing local underground prodigies, in 1997 they went worldwide with their debut meaningfully titled Middle of Nowhere. They started tours, their own ephemeral magazine Neo-E, and massive stadium-filling performances. Their hit M-Bop is the essence of the world, catchy to its very core. Now they are grown up, independent, still active and mature. Even if a one-hit wonder, Hanson should be remembered, especially by the ones who have never had even this one hit.
Good to know.
Hopeful for any local artist, they were headhunted at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Yeah.
So we got all the 4 musical families. Wait, should it be 5? It's half 5, right? So who are we missing?
Number 5, the Kelly family. If you thought we'd forgotten about them, you're wrong. Last but not least, multilingual and multi-talented crew of 9 children and let's say less tyrant Catholic dad Daniel Kelly earned their stripes with an unforgotten album Over the Hump from 1994. Many years before, they had already made a name in Germany, initially as buskers living on a boat and a local TV sensation. Hippie-style, self-schooling attitude and positive reputation assured millions of sold copies and a big fame. Barely known in the States, in Europe, especially Eastern, they used to be a generational experience with no exaggeration. In the 90s Poland, they definitely meant more than both Oasis and Nirvana, however you may judge it. Having survived the rocky series of split-ups, returns, struggles, reliefs and solo careers, they came back on tour with a shorter but original lineup. The youngest and most talented Patty and Angelo became quite successful solo artists. Recently, Patty has been seen as a judge of a German edition of The Voice. The Kellys are still on and against awards, still creative, even if they sometimes misuse first conditional.
If I would tell you.
What the Good to know.
Looking for relief in his depression, Patty became a monk for a few years. He learned a lot then, including quite a special song.
All right.
As you could see, there are some mistakes though, so as an educational place, we're gonna correct it and we're gonna practice. See what we got.
Chapter 2. A Curious Reality.
And now, let's correct and practice. No offense, Angelo, but first and second conditionals should be used like that. And if I told you, darling, how much I love you, you'd probably think I'm crazy, goofing here in blue. And if I told you, baby, you're the only one, you would laugh out loud and simply, quickly turn me down. But if I tell you, down my blood really is thicker than water, then you will know how it feels. And now you know which and where and how. And now you know will and would and that thrills the crowd. And now you know which and would and how. Now and now you know would and will and that thrills the crowd, thrills the crowd. This is how it goes. 3 is a crowd, and this is first and second conditional. See ya in the next episode. This is how South English rocks. Bye bye.